How's it going, fragrance people? How's it going, fragrance world? Happy to see y'all again. I was bad. I told y'all I would announce it or schedule it so y'all see a pop up, so y'all could, write it down in your calendar or your little, memo list. But I didn't do it. I'll do it one of these days. I'll be able to keep up with it. I get so busy in the morning. I get so distracted. So many things to do. I have two other chores I was supposed to do today. I didn't get to, and a whole bunch of projects I want to, and I have some stuff coming in the mail, some other hobbyist projects I got to do. So I'm always keeping myself busy. Sorry about that. But today we're just gonna take it easy. I'll see how long we actually stay on here. We'll see how long this goes. If it doesn't end up long, we'll see. Hey there, Joe. Hey, Joe-san. Happy to see you. I always wonder with your last name if you're Daniel-san or if you're inspired by Daniel-san. There's so many people have incognito profiles and they hide themselves. I think it's crazy. And I don't really. Well, I'm going to talk about fragrance, but I guess I could talk about this for a second. There's so many people in the fragrance community who do outrage takes and so many people who try to almost like police what you do and what you think. It really makes everybody like hide themselves, and really is kind of it's a small part of breaking up the fragrance community. For example, I like to be friends with everybody. I don't. I'm not friends with some people in the fragrance community. Not everybody. I don't agree with what some fragrance reviewers do. But as a whole, even though we wear fragrances for different reasons and we have different beliefs and have out like different aspects of how we live and how we act, for the most part, what brings us together is fragrance. And there's been times where I've been friends, and I genuinely think that some of these bigger fragrance reviewers are my friends. I'm not sucking up to them to get shout outs. But there's been a time or two where there's people who I know they're incognito profiles. I don't know exactly who they are, but they're essentially like, we're watching you, and and they think that I'm doing foul play because I watched, if whoever it is, Robes Await, Redolescence, Jet Sense, anybody like that, and if I comment on any of their videos and I actually like their content, some of these people think there's a problem with that. Anyways, I just wanted to put that out there. That's something that's been on my mind. Um, I really dislike it that people assert or assume, like what you're feeling and what you're doing. I've held off in the past from actually commenting on some of those bigger reviewers' videos because of that kind of lash, or that whiplash, however you want to call it, negative reactions that I've gotten in the past. But I'm not gonna care anymore. If I like their video and if I liked that they showcased a fragrance that I think is awesome, I'm gonna comment and I'm gonna say what I want to say. Randy says, "Hey man, hey, how you doing?" Slick Owner says, "In the house." Yes, hello my friend. Happy to see you. How y'all doing? I am. I do. It is kind of funny and a little bit strange that I just uploaded a video. I don't know if y'all saw it. I just uploaded a new release from Primera Fragrances, just a couple minutes ago. But if y'all are watching this live now, y'all can definitely watch that after this if y'all want to, or maybe tomorrow or something. But I probably shouldn't have done that. I thought about scheduling it, but I didn't feel like it. I don't know why, but it didn't sound like a good idea to me. But have y'all smelled that fragrance? And that kind of is something I wanted to talk about. Do y'all like ylang ylang? Have y'all smelled any fragrances with ylang ylang? I have a hard time with fragrances with ylang. It just doesn't work for me. I don't know why. It's kind of got a interesting, almost like bready yellow floral kind of smell to me. It's interesting. Sometimes it's pleasant. It's just not a note that I truly am in love with. And of course, share your scent of the day. You have the right idea, Randy. Hi, how you doing? Happy weekend to you. Happy weekend, everybody. Scent of the day is Colonia Essenza. Really nice fragrance. I'm really tempted to get that one or Pura. I want to have an Aqua de Parma in my collection. I do like Fico di Amalfi, but for me personally, I know it's very unisex. Guys can wear it, but for me personally, I would prefer it more on a lady. So I don't know if I could wear a Fico di Amalfi. I'm not sure about that one. But that one's a really nice scent too. Nathaniel Alexander's in the house. Happy to see you, my friend. Yo, what's good, Ben? Hey, my friend. I hope that y'all have had a happy weekend. I've been working pretty hard today. I'm always active. I'm always doing something. My internet's terribly slow, so that really slows me down, and I have to waste a lot of time with that. But besides that, I fried up a bunch of good fried shrimp, and that's been my meal for today. I've been trying to take things at a good pace, but there's always so much cleaning and organizing. I've been doing a bunch of spring cleaning type stuff, so keeping myself super super busy. How about you guys? Have y'all been keeping yourself busy? Um, I got some more glass to clean. I'm the glass cleaner. I make everything crystal clear, so I'm always doing stuff. Scent of the day, Issey Miyake Concentrate Edition. Uh, Concrete Edition. I think I've seen that before. It has like a gray like look on the bottle, but I've never smelled it. Is it rare? Is it hard to get? Is it expensive? Let me know. Is that one worth actually getting? It looks really interesting. I honestly, that's one of those fragrances that I kind of thought was fake for a few seconds, because almost, at least as far as I could tell, almost no reviewers talked about it. I never saw it in stores. I never saw it for sale online. And then it's one of those things like you go on like Fragrantica and you Google and see it, and you're like, did that really exist? There's like a flanker of a flanker of this odd fragrance that only three people in the world bothered to put a review on Fragrantica about it, and no, it's not for sale anywhere. It's not for sale on eBay, and it's just dead to the world. Nobody knows about it. Do y'all know the song "Dead to the World" by Nightwish? Anyways, but how was your week, everybody? How did you have a good week? Have y'all enjoying your weekend, taking it easy? Have y'all cooked anything good? Again, with the world of fragrance, colognes and perfumes and all those things are wonderful. But I hope that y'all also enjoy the scents around you. If you have flowers, gardens, if you can go to a park, enjoy the smells there. Enjoy wonderful smells from cooking, and of course, essential oils, either incense or diffusing fragrances, and of course, your soaps as well. I think that soaps are important as well. When I wake up in the morning, I always look forward to the smell of a good soap. I know that's a funny thing to say, but I'm a fragrance lover, so when I wake up in the morning, I look forward to having a good smell of my soap. So, anyways, what fragrances are y'all into? I'm really curious to see if there are any new fresh fragrances out there. I do try to keep up with all the fragrances, but are there any new freshies on the scene that are interesting y'all? Because there is one that I have my eye on. There's one that I'm very, very interested in, very, very interested in, and it's like glacial skies or glacial waters by Bulgari, and it's supposed to be a icy citrus kind of fragrance coming from Bulgari, and I'm super excited. Y'all know that I really like the House of Bulgari. I think they put out great fragrances for the money. They smell classy. They usually pretty fairly long lasting, decent longevity, and they're just quality for the money. And I wasn't the biggest fan crazy about Neroli Woods. It's a great creation. It's well made, but I'm not the biggest Neroli person. But this glacial fragrance, an ice cold aquatic, I'm really into that. I'm gonna be crazy about it, guys. I'm excited. Scent of the day, Issey Miyake Constant Concrete Edition. Okay, was that you who told me that earlier? Or was that the same person? Anyways, yeah, no one has been talking about concrete at all. Actually, inexpensive, not too bad of a scent. Fragrance Buy has it, and there have been reviews. Okay, I just must have missed it. There's a lot of fragrances out there, and that's one of the ones that just flew under my radar. I've been sleeping on that one, so I'll have to check it out. That might be one of the Issey Miyakes that I actually get into. No, oh, not many. Okay, I see. See, I can. I was about to eat a piece of humble pie. I mean, I'll accept a piece of humble pie if I'm wrong. I'm wrong, and I'll accept it. I'm not one of these guys who, somebody asks them if they've smelled a fragrance and they avoid the question, and all these things to try to bump up their image and funny things. One of the things I know I'm talking really fast. Tell me to stop, or just put a bunch of comments down and lead me in the direction you want to talk about. But one of the things I did want to joke about is I'm about to go cutthroat. I'm about to go rogue, not bashing other fragrance reviewers or anything like that. But I had an inclination that it was real, and I wasn't willing to do the experiment myself, and I don't even know if I should say it because other people are going to do it, and I do want to take advantage of it, but I'm not going to be as heartless with it as some other people will be. But I'm not trying to throw fuel on the fire here, but I am. I'm not going to say who it is, but there's somebody in the fragrance community who recently has been bragging about how much they've been growing, and a lot of people are suspicious, and a lot of people don't understand, or maybe are jealous, and those kinds of things. I'm not jealous. I'm at the point in the fragrance game where I'm happy to share fragrances and talk about fragrances, and I'm just here for the fragrance game. But numbers are awesome. If I could get there, that'd be awesome. But that's not my motivation for fragrances. But I do have a super popular video, and it's probably my most popular video. And I thought that it went viral. I had suspicions for different reasons, but it's one of the videos I actually did an experiment on, and I know exactly why that worked. And I don't know if this other fragrance reviewer looked into or figured it out on them by themselves, or if they saw that video and saw what I had tested. Because I do like to try to do all kinds of experiments with the YouTube algorithm and with the YouTube game, and just for fun and see what works and what doesn't. If I was, but I'm not. I don't really play the game for numbers. If I was trying to play games for the numbers, every single video I do would be a top 10 list, and every single video I do would just be it'd be ridiculous with the same old fragrances, Aqua de Gios and Aventus, and Prada El Homes, and things that people want to seem to hear about in every single video. So let's see here. But anyways, what I'm saying is, I'm trying. I'm gonna be try to be fair about it. I don't think it's unethical, but other people in the fragrance community probably think it is. But it's the world of YouTube, and it's how YouTube works. And it's the game of YouTube, and I'm gonna do that a little bit in the future. But it's going to be funny to see if anybody catches on, if anybody freaks out, if any of these people who try to be the policeman of the fragrance game freak out about it. I'm not going to care. And if it does get me somehow crazy results, it'll be fun. But I don't think it's gonna do anything dramatic. But who knows? It just might, because one video I did is quite big. It's my biggest video, and really it's, any fragrance reviewer, anybody who's into the YouTube world should be able to recognize that it's regarding tags essentially. But I won't say anything more than that. I probably shouldn't have said that, but should know what's going on, and especially because of how the fragrance community is and how small it is, there's a crazy opportunity. So let's see here. Catch up with the comments. Nathaniel says, not many. Sent to the days, Kingdom of how do you say that? Babran, by Roja. I haven't tried that fragrance. I'll have to give that a go in the future. Give that a try. Is it any good? Is it worth the money? Rojas are pretty expensive, but might just be good. Sup, y'all? Hope y'all are doing good. Back up, Bottle Boss. I hope that you're doing great too. How you doing? Happy to see you stop by my fragrance channel. I'm just out here. It's not the hottest, but it is still fairly hot and humid, and I can never seem to get cool enough. So I'm definitely starting to toast up over here. If y'all can see my face, I'm getting toasty, and through my shirt. Anyways, let's see. Yeah, Nathaniel, it's gonna be funny to see how people react to it. I had two people in the comments, ghost profiles. I don't know who they were, but I've already had people complain at me just because I did the one time. And I don't know if it was somebody who was loyal to that fragrance reviewer or whatever, but it doesn't necessarily, in the world of YouTube, it's not going to affect other fragrance reviewers dramatically, but it will dilute, possibly take away viewership, possibly, but that's the game of YouTube. In the world of YouTube, there's a limited amount of people, and YouTube pushes certain types of content, and there's ways to go about it. So it's a really funny thing, and I'm just doing it for fun. I don't know. I guess yeah, I'm psycho in the world of fragrance, because I'm not doing it really to get the views. I'm just doing it for kicks and giggles, just to rile some people up, possibly too. You mean it's not normal fragrances channels to gain No, that's not normal at all. I'm talking about somebody who's smaller. It's not that guy, but it's a cohort. It's somebody who's buddy buddy to that person. It's not the same as that. But yeah, I know what you're saying. There is some foul play, and people have looked at the numbers on what's that thing called, Social Blade or whatever, and where the numbers and people jump up like with perfect numbers, like 1,000 a day, and like other funny stuff, like while people are doing their lives or they're doing a live or when they hadn't even put a video out and like other kinds of funny stuff. I know what you're talking about there. That's not normal. I'm not gonna buy subscribers. You know, I don't do that kind of stuff. I'm just saying that they're and I've already let the cat out of the bag. If you weren't listening, it's regarding that. And if you pay attention or if you know how to figure it out, it's a puzzle. You could figure it out. Anyways, I'll stop talking about that though. What's up, smelling my smelly peoples? Hey Ben, hey everyone, hey Centurion, happy to see you. Hey there, Schism. What's up, my smelly peoples? How's the fragrance world? How's the fragrance life? How you doing, Schism? What's the channel? What? Well, one of them is Jeremy Fragrance, and I've already let out like big pieces of the puzzle. I don't want to say anything more. I just think it's funny. I don't know if people are going to get to the point, or if they care in the future to quote unquote think this is a big problem. But this is the world of YouTube, and it's something that's actually quite normal in YouTube, and other people inside YouTube would think it's quite normal. But us in the fragrance community, there's so many people who want to police other people and who just like want things in YouTube to be their way and in their style and their vision. And it's really funny that they're probably going to freak out if this does work in the future, and if it actually does pan out. And maybe I'll create a trend. Maybe some of y'all will catch on, and we'll see what happens. But I'm not going to focus on it that much. It's going to be something that pops up. And if you're paying attention, you'll know what's going on. But it says, "Hey Ben, hey everybody. Not possible mathematically." I agree. No. Some of these fragrance reviewers are growing way too fast for their own good. And I won't say there's another fragrance reviewer who's actually a lady, and so, a lot of her videos she actually didn't post for like a couple months, and then she posted a couple videos and then didn't post again for a couple months after that. Took another hiatus, like almost like two in a row. And this person still was growing faster than most fragrance reviewers. And then they like capped out and stopped growing at a certain point. And most of their videos had like about 5,000 views flat. If y'all want to talk about suspicious, I could blast somebody seriously in the fragrance game, and I don't know if y'all even know who this person is, but I'm not going to name them because they don't have a bunch of influence. I don't think a bunch of people watch them, but it is really suspicious, and I do think it's really crazy that this person somehow did get nosed in. They put their little foot in the door, and they did get involved with Fragrance Net. And I don't know if they're still working with them or for them, but at some point they didn't get their foot in the door and were collaborating with Fragrance Net, which is absolutely crazy. And their numbers weren't even legitimate. I mean, they weren't even doing anything the honest way. So it's funny. It's a funny world. Who's the channel? I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm talking about somebody else. I'm talking about somebody else that's. And this person has gotten a lot of flack recently, and they deserve some of the flack because they've been treating some people, including me at one point on Facebook, pretty poorly. And I can see where they're getting the flack. And because this person's buddies with that person, I don't want to say anything more. I'm already putting myself into too much hot water. But I guess I'm in a feisty, saucy mood. But it's like I didn't care that much to try or actually even to go over to their channel, but I was just feeling, I don't know, when I was working and editing my video today with my thumbnail, I sat down and I'm like, I know this is what's happening, and I just wanted to prove to myself that I knew it was real, and I'm like, yep, and I had myself a good laugh, like a big laugh for like 5 seconds, because it was exactly what I knew it was, and it's exactly what's going on. And it's it's something, again, normal and anywhere else, but here in the YouTube fragrance world, people freak out about it. So Zarahoff Signature Royale, mid-July. How's Cookie the skunk dressed? Y'all like calling Cookie a skunk. Y'all are mean to little Cookie now. She's a little bit crazy, but she's a good dog. Zarahoff's Signature Royal sounds nice. I don't know anything about it, but that sounds good. Zarahoff does have good fragrances. I don't know if I'll be getting one in the mail like a lot of these other fragrance reviewers. I don't, even if I like a brand, even if I get something for free, I'll do one review and I don't hype up fragrances. I really don't believe in that. And again, I'm not trying to bash some of these other fragrance reviewers, but and George is a great guy, but some of these guys seem to have a good relationship with George. He'll pop into their videos and they'll praise him, and he's a good guy and all. It's good to be friends with him, but they have like posters on their wall, and they get all involved with him. That I'm sure that they're getting a free bottle, but I won't be getting a free bottle most likely because I did one review. I stand by what I said. I think it's a great business fragrance. I think it's a great, almost retro, almost like a retro fragrance, but a great, almost modern take on that old DNA and making oud wearable for the average businessman kind of smell. I think it's a good fragrance, but I was honest about it that I gave it to my dad, and that I enjoyed the fragrance. It's good quality, but I personally just won't really be wearing it like that. And I'm honest about that. So, but anyways, have you tried Club de Nuit Intense Limited Edition yet? No, I haven't. I wish I had $3,000 a year. I don't spend even half of that on fragrances every year. I wish I had that kind of budget to buy fragrances that often and just buy new releases and buy things just to review them for y'all, even if I didn't want some of these fragrances to review. I don't have that kind of budget, and it does look good. I'd like to try it, but I don't know if when I will or if I will. It's something that looks good, but I'm just not really crazy about that Aventus DNA that much. Personally, I prefer again, like coffees, tobaccos, gourmands, leathers, and sometimes musk fragrances. A lot of the times, I like that richer, deeper sense, and sometimes smoky stuff. Club de Nuit Intense is smoky, but it's more of like a citrus smoky. So, have you tried it, Goku? Yeah, let us know, Goku. I got Zara Vibrant Leather limited edition. The projection and longevity is a joke. Yeah, is that the one that people were speaking really highly of and seemed to like? I was tempted to get into Zara because of that fragrance, and everybody was saying that those were pretty good fragrances. Is that the one that smells like Dior Homme Cologne? And I was really tempted to buy a bunch of those Zaras, but I kind of held off. I was thinking about it, but I ended up not doing it. I own a bottle. It's excellent. Schism says Schism. Yeah, so yeah, I'm tempted. That Club de Nuit Intense Man limited edition does look good. I do want to get a bottle maybe sometime. Scent of the Day is John Varvatos Vintage. Really good fragrance. I love that fragrance. If you like booziness and you like leather, that certainly is a really, really good fragrance. And I like it for summer nights. It works really well for summer nights. Nice, Goku Black. Goku, is it worth it if you already have the original? Yeah, I don't. I've heard that's not very different from the original. It's just a little bit smoother, but it's not very different at all. I was hoping that the top of the limited edition version, that the opening smelled a little bit more fruity and a little bit more like pineapple. That's what I was hoping for, and that's what I was really wanting. But from the sounds of it, it's just a little bit smoother, maybe slightly higher quality, but it's not much better. So, hey Ben, just had Don't Daniel Hosier mystery oud through the post today. Oh, fantastic! How do you like it? Do you like that Daniel Hosier? They're pretty solid fragrances. A lot of people talk about the Ombre Tabac, and that one's really good. I really liked Kaleidoscope, but I have a lot of other Haitian vetiver citrus fragrances, and I do like that Kaleidoscope. But I get so funny. I have preferences with fragrances, and when there's hundreds and thousands of fragrances out there, you can afford to be so picky. So I still really think that Kaleidoscope is great, especially if you like things like Boisé de Portugal by Creed. I think that it's somewhat similar, but I ended up selling my bottles. So maybe I'll get Ombre to back one of these days, but we'll see about that. Nathaniel says the Zara clone for Dior Homme Cologne is pretty good. Yeah, that's the one I thought that summer edition was, our limited edition. It's hard to find, Nathaniel. Schism says if you already have the money, you should if you have the money, you should definitely consider. Okay, so Goku's saying it's worth the money. Yeah, I wanted a backup bottle for it. Okay, so it's definitely worth the money and worth getting even a backup bottle, huh? It must be pretty good stuff. A lot of y'all seem to really be still on the Aventus train. I'm not. I do like Aventus, and I still sometimes reach for those scents, but I don't wear them all the time. And I have a little bottle of a Napoleon cologne by Zoha that I sometimes wear, and that's again probably my favorite. Club de Nuit Intense Man is great, but I used to have a bottle of El Haramain as La Aventure, and I actually sold that as well. Even though I think that's a great fragrance for the money, I actually sold that one too. So, Vibrant Leather is the clone of Aventus. You're right, Vibrant Leather. Do y'all think that Zara's worth the money? Do y'all think Zara's good? Um, I don't have a Zara around me. I'd have to blind buy all these fragrances, and maybe one of these days I will blind buy them. But again, I'm just so picky, and unless it's has really great longevity or it does something special, I'm not crazy about it. A lot of in my opinion, you can afford to be so picky, but some people are, everybody's different. Some people love to have like hundreds of affordable fragrances, and nothing's wrong with that. But for me, I'd rather have fewer fragrances and fragrances that I actually like, or that I'm just crazy about them. Do you like the Colonia line or the Blue Mediterranean line from Aqua di Gio more? For me, it's definitely the Blue Mediterranean line. They don't last as long. And again, Aqua de Parma's never lasted great on me. But a lot of the Mediterranean line lasts close to 4, 5, maybe 6 hours on me, and the Colonias will last 5, 6, maybe 7 hours if I'm lucky. Out of the Colonias, but the Mediterranean fragrances smell more natural. They smell more fun. They're a little bit more wearable. So I personally would prefer the Mediterranean line. But some of them are quite poor performers. But again, they smell pretty good. Something from them smells like bug spray. Yeah, some of the colonias. I think is that the Essenza, or I forget. There's one of the colonias that supposedly smells like bug spray. I think it has a black bottle. But I'll look into it. Goku Black, thanks for the advice. Yes, we're all friends here, helping each other out. Bond number 9, O'Day New York, is a performance beast. So much better than most of the others. I'll have to check that one out. I've heard pretty good things about that one. Is that a new release, or is it just getting a lot of talk? Is it really popular? Terre de Hermes Eau de Parfum is also a performance beast. Oh, yes, it is. And that one's on my buy list. I've been thinking about buying that one for a long time. That one does have serious performance. You got to be careful with that fragrance. Some people suggest only wearing that fragrance in the winter, and I can see why. Zara is closing all their stores, I heard, so they're all online now. Are they really? That's interesting. They don't have any physical stores. I think a lot of things in the future, especially when people are starting. Even I mean, the trend already was to buy online, but because of the quarantine stuff and all that business, people are really starting to notice and like the convenience and get more. I guess as actuated. That's not the right word. Normalized to actual online buying, even if they normally wouldn't, because they were kind of forced to, because that's the only option they had because they're quarantined. And a lot of business are realizing that's a lot cheaper. You don't have to pay staff, you don't have to pay rent, you don't have to pay for electricity, and all these things. And you can just work online and figure out how to work things online. And a lot of people prefer to buy online. So I think we already were moving in that direction, but we've just accelerated things even faster to just about everything going online. There's still going to be big cities and there's still going to be supermarkets, of course, with food and all those things. But it's going to be really crazy to see what's going to happen in the future with the world. And especially with everybody talking about deliveries of groceries to your door with drones and all kinds of things. It's going to be crazy. Let's see here. I was eager to try Zara Soft Haze, which is a Silver Mountain Water clone, but it's discontinued. Yeah, Zara seems to switch things up or discontinue things really, really fast. And I don't know if it's true, but a lot of people say Zara puts the same fragrances in different bottles and gives it a different name and like rebottles the fragrance and all the time. So I don't know if that's true. Maybe there's another fragrance that's essentially the same fragrance with a different name. I don't know if any of y'all are big Zara fans. Please help us out here. And Casey says Green Irish Tweed, only so far performance not bad, but not anything special. Yeah, it's Green Irish Tweed always gave me just average performance, and a lot of people seem to really like the smell. I personally never was crazy about it. It's a decent smell. It smells good, but I never understood why people were loved Green Irish Tweed so much. It's a good smell, and nothing's wrong with it. But I never thought it was anything truly special, and especially for the price, I wouldn't go near it personally. But I respect everybody with their own nose and their own preferences and wearing what they like. But when I first did get into the fragrance game, I did think it was really, really funny that it used to be like a rite of passage, and you really were a big fragrance reviewer if you had a bottle of Green Irish Tweed, and everybody used to hype up and brag about their bottle of Green Irish Tweed, and it used to be like a big deal. And I always thought it was a little bit strange, but who am I to say anything? Who am I to say anything about that? DFW says finally broke down and bought two Joe Malone bottles on sale from Macy's. They were packed in the same box, separate on tissue paper, and broke in transit. Trying calling, emailing, no luck. That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. I hope that you can get that resolved real quick. It's a shame when people package things poorly. Amazon's gotten a lot better, but one time I ordered a bunch of stuff and some bottles of honey from Amazon, and they did. I don't think they even put any bubble wrap on the honey, and the honey it wasn't just a little bit broken. It was completely broken, and the glass into like little shards and honey, and everything was broken inside the package. So like it was a big box, mostly of air with like no filling and no packaging. Nothing was wrapped with some honey and some other things that were like glass and whatnot, and it was all broke. It was a big mess. So yeah, definitely when you package things, be careful. I mean, if Swift Scents is still here, I sent them some fragrances for free one time, and they'll probably they were joking that I'd wrap that stuff like 3 or 4 times with bubble wrap, and they joked that it was like indestructible. That if that fragrance in transit was not going to break. Bond number 9 Eau de New York is a summer fragrance with a strong performance. I think that's why it gets talk now. Most citrus and summer fragrances are light, but Eau de New York performs well with the longevity. Sounds really nice. I'll have to give it a go. I'll see what it's like. I'll see what all the talk is about. Y'all know that I'm not crazy about number 9, but I do like Chesbon. It is, for a niche fragrance, it's not terribly creative. It's not terribly unique, but it is a nice scent. So if I ever own a bottle of Bond number 9, it's probably Ches Bond, but I'll have to give that one a go and see what the talk is about. You're getting me interested, Casey. DFW says, think their entire customer service staff is furloughed, canceling credit card, and is my last resort. Trying to go through a deceit. Yeah, if you paid on your credit card, you can cancel the payment if you like call up your bank. If you're really desperate, but then you can get like tax collectors, and some people can try to fight you legally and all kinds of nonsense. But yeah, with the things, they're probably very short staffed. A lot of places are still quarantined. They might not have anybody that's managing the phones at all. So it's really annoying, but you might have to wait a little bit. Y'all know that I am an outdoorsman, and I do. But anyways, I bought a part for one of my pew pews. I can't even show the finger action. That will get me flagged. Anyways, and it was from Ruger, and it took it. I ordered a part, and I think it took them like 2 or 3 months to even ship it out the door because it was a back ordered part, and because of the quarantine. So right now, customer service is definitely a problem. It's definitely a problem. Moody Boo is in the house. Hey, happy to see you. How you doing, Moody Boo? Happy to see you. Love your content. Love your channel. It's always a pleasure to watch you. You're one of those fantastic ladies that's doing a great job. I hope that you know that you're doing a great job. If y'all are looking to learn about ladies' fragrances, maybe looking for a gift for a lady in your life, Moody Boo does a pretty darn good job out there. So the local Sephora reopened, but they no longer have testers out because of the virus. Yeah, I heard that some places like don't act. They're limiting exposure to people actually touching things, so you can't actually use the testers. It's kind of a shame though. You'd think there'd be a cashier or somebody with like white gloves, and they would like spray testers, or maybe they would spray a bunch of testers, outside for you, or maybe they would have like one of those funny thing with like candles where you could like touch a piece of glass and like smell it or something. You'd think that they would do something like that, but no, well. Yeah, it's a shame. I really liked Macy's. Yeah. Shake my head. Scent of the day, Dolce Gabbana, the one EDT. That's a really good fragrance. It's still really good, no matter what anybody says. Doesn't have the greatest longevity, but hey, it does smell great. Close the finishing the bottle and ordered a big bottle of the EDP. That's the way to go. If you know that you really like a fragrance and maybe you don't have a huge collection, if you know that you wear a lot of it, it's worth getting the big bottle. But for a lot of us fragrance reviewers who have such a huge collection, sometimes, especially with niche fragrances, it's probably better to buy the smaller bottle, especially if it's a really unique niche fragrance, if you know what I mean. Because you're probably not gonna wear that fragrance all the time, but who knows? Maybe you will. Maybe you wear a lot of those. For me personally, if it's terribly unique, I end up not wearing it all the time. Says, I know I ordered Harrods exclusive Amouage Overture from England, and I came triple bubble wrapped in like a week and a half to Texas. Well, Harrods knows how to do it right. Harrods must be doing something right. Triple wrapped it and sent it fairly fast, so that's a really good job. Yeah, you got to wrap things up like triple, quadruple times, and to make sure they're safe, and then put it inside a box. Wrap it up 3 or 4 times in bubble wrap and put it in the box. That's how you do it. Boo, you still got the Tor kerosene bespokes. He stopped doing them now. Okay, kerosene used to do. Okay, he used to have people tour his. Does he do everything out of his house, or does he have a little? Does he work with a factory or anything like that? Yeah, is it because of the quarantine, or is it did he just stop kind of doing it in general? I don't know much of the history with kerosene. He used to be a fragrance reviewer, and he seems to be doing fairly well with his fragrance company. But I don't know all the details. But if you know anything more, please feel free to share with us. This is a place of fragrance news and fragrance information, and we all definitely could learn a little bit more about that brand kerosene. If y'all don't know, it's a niche brand on the scene. And he's pretty creative, from what I've heard. Pretty good fragrances. I haven't really tried any of them, but I want to. Blackmail and a few of their fragrances do look really fun. So, hey Judd the Stud, I do still have them. I know he told me I was devastated. I wanted a third perfume with the green notes to call Fairy Ring to go with my mood swing and needful thing. That rhymes, doesn't it? Fairy Ring. So is it that he's not making bespoke fragrances anymore? Is it that he stopped? Really, just I don't know. He's still making fragrances, isn't he? Thanks, babe. You're welcome, Moody Boo. You're awesome, and happy to see you as always. Scent of the day is Cherry Punk by Room. How do you say that? 10:15. Yeah, I think I tried the Electric Room a while back. I thought it was really interesting for what it was, like a citrus woody fragrance, but it was quite interesting with how the notes were used. Is that fragrance really good? Is that one worth trying out? I don't know. I thought Electric Room was interesting, but I didn't know if I wanted to pay for it, especially because I only got like 5 or 6 hours of performance out of it personally. Does Room 1015 give you good performance? Anyways, I got lucky. I just got YO Frisch in the mail today from Macy's. Wow, may not go back through them anymore. Yeah, I think the problem is if you buy multiple fragrances, and then if you get somebody in a rush who's not careful like they should be, that's kind of the problem. Maybe we should all invest in bubble wrap stocks. Yeah, bubble wrap stocks and all kinds of and funny business because Man, the world's topsy turvy still. It's still not back to normal. Javoy's website gets to me in less than 2 weeks, and they pack them well. I haven't bought any fragrances from Javoy, but hopefully I'll get to be able to experience that. But yeah, 2 weeks. That's not bad. I can deal with 2 weeks. A lot of people like things to be get there in 2 days. Do I need to move? Do I need to move the camera? I say that's directly in sunlight, and because the we're a little bit downhill, and the sunlight, the horizon is beating down on the camera. Let me know if this improves anything. Is this a little bit better, or is that worse? Sorry about this, guys. I'm outside and I have to deal with the world of nature. So, hey there, Truffles. Anyways, no, he stopped. He said, too busy with his perfumes. Okay, that well, yeah, he's just kind of busy with how things are going right now. I understand. No tour means, I mean, that would be dope if there was a tour. Okay, I see what you're saying. Bespoke. It was bespoke fragrances. I got in my head, tours. Maybe I want to go on a tour. I want to see what he's doing over there. That's what I love about Fragrance by. They do great job wrapping all their fragrances. Yeah, Fragrance by CA. Again, I'm not trying to hype up the company, but they're really solid. I've been buying a lot more from them recently. Fragrance Net's great. I still buy from them, but even though Fragrance Net has the bigger selection, Fragrance by CA has some more unique fragrances that you just can't find everywhere else. So I do kind of have a bunch of fragrances that I want to buy from them. And I have another buy list ready. If I had the money, I'd just buy it right now. I have the list ready to go. A bunch of fragrances I want from them. So see here. That would be dope. Yep. And Cherry Punk smells like Lost Cherry. I love it. Okay. That sounds nice. Do you think it's a clone? Everybody talks about clones. Do you think it was inspired by it? Sorry, I am late. No problem. No problem at all, Juicy Fuego. We've been going on for about 40 minutes. I don't know how long I'll be on here for. We'll see how long this goes. We'll see if it's an hour or maybe a little bit longer. But I usually don't get on here for longer than that. Some people have the ability to be on here for hours and hours. I usually just don't have that kind of ability. I mean, I could chat for hours and hours, but I want to relax. I want to go watch a movie or take it easy. I have things I need to do, and I just can't be on a phone or on a live stream for 6 7 hours straight. That's not my kind of thing. But I mean, more power to the people who can do that. I'm sorry if y'all are disappointed and y'all want that, but hopefully you get to see enough of me because you see me. I put out a video every single day, and I do go live for y'all on the weekends. So hopefully you get to see enough of me. So Ben, are you doing a live chat collab soon? I've thought about it. I don't have Wi-Fi to mess with things on my laptop to mess with StreamYard. And to be completely honest with you, nobody else invites me. I am friends, at least a little bit of friends, somewhat with some other fragrance reviewers, and a lot of them tend to be smaller. Centurion's great, and there's some other fragrance reviewers who. Moody Boo is here. Sasha was here yesterday, and there's a few fragrance reviewers who I'm fairly good friends with, but I don't get invited to anything. I've always been that way that I never get invited to anything. And the funny thing is, I'm the person who you probably have seen me do collab videos in the past. I was the one who had to message people individually, and I don't even like messaging individually. I like asking people in groups and like inviting people to a party, like who wants to go. I don't want to have to find your email. I don't want to have to find a way to message you through Instagram or Facebook Messenger. And then, everybody in different platforms like message me a video, and then I have to like remember where they were, and I have to keep track of where they came from and not try to lose them. And sometimes the videos are in different formats. I've had to convert videos and like download weird converters, and I don't even know if it. I was worried that it was going to put a virus on my computer because these videos I had to convert them into a different format. So it gets crazy. But yeah, I don't get invited to lives. I would like to be on some of these lives with some of these people, but again, I don't. I would like to think that they would be fun, but y'all know my personality. I'm pretty straight to the point. I have dry humor, and a lot of these people do this. They do this like banter, but it's not like Irish banter. It's like American banter, and I've never really had that kind of personality for that kind of thing. But if you want to talk about fragrance and keep going on and on and on about fragrance, as y'all can tell, that I can go on for hours about that. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll get invited, and maybe whenever I actually get decent Wi-Fi in the future, maybe I'll actually invite people. I'm sorry about this, son. Let me see if I can move this over and go completely sideways, and then the sun will be at the side of my face, but maybe it'll look a little bit better. So this is about the best I can do for you guys. I'm sorry. I'm outside here during the sunset. It's quite bright, and as y'all can see, I'm getting kind of sweaty, but I do this for you guys. We have done live on IG. Yeah, I've done collaborations kind of on Instagram, but that's only with two people. I've gone live with Fab Trends by Mia. I interviewed Just a Rose. I don't know if many of y'all saw that, but that was pretty fun. Just a Rose is a pretty wonderful lady for the most part, and pretty awesome. That was fun. So yeah, the Instagram is kind of where I hang out more than YouTube. At least I don't know. It's there's pros and cons to both of them. The fragrance YouTube reviewers have a lot of nerds that I think are funny, but they are not. You better just doing your own thing, no nonsense. Yeah, um, I don't know. Am I considered a nerd? I mean I'm really enthusiastic and I learn a lot about fragrances and I talk a lot about fragrances, but I usually don't like to get into the drama. But as y'all could see earlier in this video, I did throw a little, in a way, I did throw a little bit of fuel on the fire because I don't know. I just wanted to get, I don't know, a little bit of my opinion out there because I really don't like how one person is treating other people and their attitude in the fragrance community, and what they're doing isn't anything special. I could have done what they're doing, but I thought it was a little bit underhanded. But I'll be doing a little bit of it uh, because I guess other people don't seem to care, but or maybe other people don't know what's going on. I don't know, but I'll do a little bit of it if other people think it's okay. For some reason, I used to really care what other people thought about me, what they think about me, and I used to like actually got kind of I've always been raised that way, to be worried or to be really conscientious of myself. Um, and other people around me usually are the complete opposite. They're trying to take advantage of other people, and I'm the person like holding myself back because I think it'll offend somebody or something. But it's funny. It's funny. You know, depending on how you're raised and your attitudes towards life, we all have different mindsets. So, about to light up a Romeo and Juliet 1875. You got to tell me what that is. I don't think you're is. I don't think it's a movie. Is it booze? You got to let me know what that is. Then wash the cigar smell off and put on a new scent. Is that a type of cigar? Casey, you're going way too posh for me. You're going over my head. I don't even know what that is. Thinking of Floris Elite or Zurius Rouge for the afternoon scent. Both of those are gorgeous. My dad actually is crazy about Floris Elite, and you know that I like Zurius Rouge. I don't know. I think that for the heat, Floris Elite might be a little bit better but if it's a little bit colder where you live, maybe the Zurius Rouge would be a little bit better for the colder night. I'm not sure. So, Ronald Japinga says, "Scent of the day is Rojas Man." I've been hearing a lot of good about that fragrance. I'm hoping, and I think I'm gonna get that in the mail. I have something exciting to tell y'all and share with y'all if that does work out. So look forward to that if I am able to get that Rojas Man. And again, being in the South, I have mosquitoes going after me too. And earlier, I found a bunch of red fire ants. I got to get those things. Cigar. Casey says Romeo and Juliet equals a cigar. Okay, what kind of cigar is that? I've never heard of it. It must be fancy. It must be posh. I actually don't smoke cigars or anything like that, but I do have some of those cigar lighters for burning incense. You know, some of those, especially if you have like one of those quad burners and you can light your like charcoal for your incense super fast. It's really fun to hear those pull in the air, almost like a jet engine. They like suck in the air, and they do a really good job. Oh yeah, Cohiba, that's a really good brand. And Zcar, I think it's called as well. I have one of those, a Zcar. Really good quality stuff. And I don't even drink really or smoke, but I watch all kinds of stuff on YouTube. So it's awesome. Oh, it's Dominican. Okay, Dominicans. I don't know. What's the best? Is it Dominican? Is it Cuban? What do you think is the best out there cigar wise? Ben, you are awesome and at what you do, brother. I hope you get a chance to do a collab though. It would be great to see one. Yeah, I have some people invite me to do videos. I've had a gentleman's journey who's really awesome. He sometimes does like holiday collab videos. I've been on one, I think one or maybe even two of his, and I was on somebody else's. I'm trying to remember. I can't even remember right now, but I've been on one or two, but it's been a while, and it'd be nice if these bigger fragrance reviewers would do lives with everybody in the fragrance community. I think that things are becoming better in the fragrance community where we're all getting involved and that we're all becoming better friends with each other. At least that's what I'd like to think. I would like to see the fragrance community become more that way, but there's some people who seem to think that we should all like unite against bigger YouTubers for some reason. We're all a community. We all got to work together, and we're not going to be able to tear down these guys even if we wanted to. So Casey Jones, you suck. Rubbing it in. That's where I want to be. Okay. You go for a Padron? Usually I smoke, but have not since Iraq. Okay, I feel you. Yeah, I don't really drink much, but I'm more of like a rum and a mead kind of guy. Got that Viking thing going on, but I usually don't drink at all. So, I like Nicaraguan cigars, Padron. Okay, everybody's talking about their I don't know, their entertainment of the evening. the this Casey's you don't really suck. Yeah, just so jealous. No, I think we understand. If y'all have never watched Moody Booze, she's got an awesome personality. Yeah, she's just joking around. Nathaniel says Padron are so good ones. Cuban cigars are the best. Okay, so yeah, I've heard everybody talk about Cuban ones, and I wasn't sure if they were the gold standard or if they weren't. So unite against them. Yeah, there's some people in the fragrance community who are acting like a bunch of us smaller fragrance reviewers should, even if you did get everybody together. I understand if you want to change the fragrance community against somebody maybe like Jeremy Fragrance, but everybody else, they're doing good work, and I don't think some of these people understand YouTube. YouTube, with the algorithm, has always been supporting people like an avalanche. If you're growing, you're going to grow faster, and that's always been the way with YouTube. But about a year ago, they actually changed the algorithm, and if you're going to grow faster, depending if you're bigger. So if you're a smaller YouTuber, you're actually going to grow. The algorithm is made to actually you're not going to grow as fast as somebody who's bigger, because the way YouTube looks at it is if you're a bigger YouTuber, you deserve to have a bigger amount of influence and authority because you've already proven yourself, and especially if you like don't curse and you're doing like being PC and doing all the things that YouTube wants, they're gonna push you out, and that's how YouTube works. And a lot of the guys who like want to, maybe to grow and maybe they want to become more successful, they really don't like that. But that's the way YouTube is, and YouTube is not going to change anytime soon. So if any of these guys think that they're going to be able to, I don't know, shoot up and surpass, I don't know, any of these guys. I don't know. Some people have something against like Gentsense. I don't understand it. Gentsense is a pretty good guy. I haven't seen him do any foul play, and you're not going to be able to get bigger than Gentsense. By the time you get if you ever did get to the point where you were at 100,000, at Jitsense level, Jitsense would be at 1 million. So it's just not going to happen, guys. That's not how YouTube is set up. Especially if he's putting in the work and everything, it's just not going to happen, guys. Says, I knew it. I like you, Ben. I've got that Viking blood too. I do. My dad's side is Irish. I have an Irish last name. I'm Irish, Welsh, and German mostly. I don't know if y'all can see any German in me. And it's really funny that I. It's a really funny world, but I don't think ethnicity should matter that much. I do find Arabian gals with pretty eyes very attractive, but I do tend to find German and Irish gals more attractive. It's really funny. And there was a smaller upcoming fragrance reviewer, and I don't know why, and I don't know if she really likes my channel or not, but she commented and she seemed to like my content. I'm like, and I looked at her channel, and she's German. I'm like, it's a funny world. It's a funny world. It really is. Let me see. Let's get back to the cigars. All the good cigar makers left Cuba due to the embargo. Okay, so where are the good cigar makers now? Let us know. Educate us, people who do not understand cigars like we should. Cuban cigars were the best, and they were rare in the USA, but Nicaragua and Dominican and Honduras are as good now, like the new wines coming from all over. Yeah, it's true. Like a lot of the good wines, was it France? I don't even know. I know that it was France and Italy used to be considered the best, and some of the Spain wines were really liked. And isn't Spain more like sherry, and there's some kind of like mixed wine, like wine that's mixed with something that was really popular out of like Spain. But then now at this point, Spain is, they're pretty much just as good as anybody else at this point, as far as I understand. So yeah, the world's a funny place. Everything changes, but some things don't change. Like Italy, for the most part, will probably be the center of olive oil, and probably for forever, because that's how that is. You're not going to get those, not olive trees probably to work anywhere else, unless somebody decides to buy up a bunch of land in the Mediterranean somewhere on an island or something. Let's see. I'm fairly new to Fragcom and personally prefer smaller YouTubers because many times they talk about fragrances that aren't very mainstream. Yeah, it's true. When you're a bigger fragrance reviewer, there's a big motivation to talk about fragrances that appeal to the masses and to the average person, because you're going to get that's what's going to appeal to everybody, and they tend to tone things down. Like, I put a lot of my personality out here. I put out a lot of my personality, and sometimes I share a little bit of who I am personally. But if you're a bigger fragrance reviewer, I mean, there's been times where I get, the more personality I put out, or more of my personal opinions, it's more likely to offend or ostracize people than it is to actually get people to be loyal to me. It's kind of a funny world we live in, so I understand why they kind of tone things down, and they try to be a little bit more neutral about some things, and they don't get into the drama and all that stuff. So it is funny. So indeed, Cubans were great many years ago. Okay, I hear you. Cubans used to be the way to go, but there's a bunch of great makers in everywhere, especially Latin America, it sounds like. Jitsense is good. Jeremy Fragrances is horrible. I like Jitsense. I watch his content. I think he's doing a great job. And again, some people seem to suggest that numbers don't matter, but numbers are proof, and a subscriber is a real person. So Jitsense is doing a wonderful job, and he's doing really, really well. I wouldn't be amazed if how things are going. I think Jitsense is going to surpass Steven. Especially because Steven is focusing on his own fragrance. I think that Jitsense is going to get bigger than Redolescence, and Jet Sits, I don't know if he's ever going to get Jeremy level, but it's getting to the point where he's going to be seen as the authority and the big dog in the fragrance community, at least to most of us. Jeremy Fragrance, he does a good thing. He's got the eyeballs of the young guys who want to look really good. They want the ladies and they want to be attractive, but he's pushing his fragrance a lot. He's not really reviewing as many fragrances or doing as much work as he used to. And I don't know. There's been times where he's lost faith with people, and I won't get into his drama. But if you've been watching Jeremy throughout the years, you know that there's been a number of fiascos. And Jet Sense, in my opinion, at least as far as I can tell, has been clean and pretty upstanding. So it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be funny when that happens because for some reason there's a lot of people who have something against the guy, and I can't see him. It hasn't really done anything to anybody. So I like Jet since he comes across as honest and unbiased. Yeah, he does. He comes off that way for sure. At least I think he does. Agreed. Those countries are good, in my opinion. Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of wonderful things in the world, and that's one reason I want to travel. I want to travel and experience and see all these things. There's different cultures, accents, foods, lifestyles, cultures, and all those beautiful things. And I think that's a great thing in the world. I think it's a wonderful thing. So, wine from Portugal is extreme value, $18 to $20 a bottle. Taste way high quality. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Portugal has the stuff, and it's good quality for the money. Jeremy is for fun for many. Yeah, it's true. A lot of people do watch him, not to necessarily learn as much as a lot of it is being entertained. A lot of people do find him entertaining. Ash seems to be a stand-up dude. I think he is, and he's definitely got the numbers to prove it. And again, when anybody's having success, when anybody's doing a great job, there's going to be people who try to do bad backlash. So, anyways, and if any of y'all are being really suspicious, if any of y'all think that way, I don't talk to Gent Sense. I don't talk to Ash regularly, or I don't really talk to him at all. I used to be a member of his group, and then there was a small understanding, and I'm not even a part of his Facebook group. So, but he is a cool guy. I just wanted to put that out there that I'm not buddies with the guy, but I do think that the fragrance game is we all have influence in the fragrance world, and we all influence each other. But there's no doubt that he is definitely being a big influence in the fragrance game. Do you often get sick of a particular fragrance after, say, using a month and a half of the bottle? Um, it depends. That's why I like so much variety in my collection. That's why I don't do signature scents. Some people do signature scents, and more power to them if they can dedicate a lot of their time. If they can wear a fragrance for a week straight, a month straight, a year straight, more power to you if you can do that. But I can't. I like variety. I like wearing lots of scents for different situations, depending on my emotions, the weather, the temperature, and whatever I just feel like wearing that day. If I want to wear an oud or something different I have in my collection for the heck of it, I can pull out a sample, a decant, an oil. I can layer things up. I can change things up, and to me, that's a lot of fun. But I mean, yeah, that's one reason I have so much. But that's one reason I don't get bored with my fragrances. If I only had 10 fragrances or 20 fragrances, I would get bored with those scents and I would have to get rid of them or just buy or switch things up somehow. So, more are who are some scandalous YouTube fragrance reviewers? Who was the one acting improperly? I'm not going to say. I don't want to throw fuel on the fire. If you know, you know. If you pay attention to how people, if you watch all the fragrance reviewers and, uh, see what's going on, you can figure it out. But I don't want to throw more fuel on the fire. I kind of like feeling like I've said my piece, but I haven't really, tried to lambast or badmouth anybody or say anything too terrible. But if you're watching all the fragrance reviewers and all the people, you kind of know what's going on. So, uh, but I don't really want to negative. I don't want to directly or even indirectly. I'm not trying to target that person. I'm just trying to get y'all to. I'm trying to get y'all to. I don't know. See what my point was. Wasn't really about him as a person. It was that person's growth as far as subscribers go, and he's this person's trying to hype themselves up as if they've done something special, and that they've learned analytics. And I already gave y'all a hint. I already earlier in the video I said what it was. I don't want to say it again, but if you know how to figure it out, I figured it out, and I already knew about it. I could have been doing that what he's doing a year ago, uh, but I was the one who let everybody know about top 10 list, and he's figured out the second piece of the puzzle that really does the magic that makes it work. And I think it's really funny that people are hyping up, or I don't know, are believe there's something special going on, but it's nothing special. But if you don't know how to work, if you don't know how to work YouTube, it might seem like magic to you, it might seem like wizardry. Anyways, I met Jeremy in person. Are there any Facebook groups on fragrances worth being a member of? There's one by Max Forte. I think there's one by Redolescence. There's one by Robes08. Robes08's awesome. He's a great fragrance reviewer. If you don't know who he is, if you haven't been in the fragrance game very long, definitely checks out Robes08. He's nicknamed the Guru for a reason. He's legit. He doesn't play with top 10 list. He doesn't play the game. What I'm talking about, and that's why he isn't as big as he could be. He deserves to be a lot bigger. Robes08 does. He's awesome guy, so check him out. I have my own Facebook group, but I mostly just post my videos in there. I'll ask y'all questionnaires about what y'all want to see next. What are y'all looking forward to? What videos do you want to see next? And I hope that y'all get involved and befriend each other in my Centaur Fragrance family, like little group on Facebook, which you can find. I think we're getting close to 300 members, but it's not terribly big, and people aren't terribly active in there. But it is nice for all of us to have a good little safe place to befriend each other. I met Jeremy in person. He's actually very nice. No, I'm not trying to badmouth Jeremy. I have no doubt that he's a friendly person and that he means the best. And from what I could tell with the Fragrance Apprentice, it seems like he puts on a persona of sorts to appeal to people. And there are a lot of YouTubers who do put on a persona. Bigger YouTubers who are there for more of entertainment. They definitely do that kind of thing. So I'm not trying to lambaste Jeremy. I'm just saying, like, as far as fragrance reviewing goes, he's been focusing on his own fragrance, and he hasn't really been focusing on reviewing fragrances. And if you don't stay up with the trends, like he hasn't really been talking about as many of the newer fragrances and the newer releases, and he kind of seems to talk about the same fragrances and with top 10 lists and that kind of stuff. And you can only do that for so long. I mean, it works algorithmically, if I'm saying that right, algorithmically, that it works. But, people eventually, even if YouTube pushes it, over time, people are just going to get bored with it. So, um, anyways, Casey, there are Facebook groups for fragrances worth being a member of. I answered that. But yeah, check them out. You'll find a few of them. But I'm not really involved. Facebook groups usually are a mixed bag. There's some people who there are trolls who want to start trouble, and I'm sorry, over there, the little dog's going crazy and all. And who knows? People are probably spying on me again. Every time I talk over here, people are spying and listening. It's absolutely crazy. Um, how many bottles in your collection now? I have definitely under 100. I don't have a massive collection. I sell and buy a lot of fragrances. I showcase fragrances from my dad's collection whenever I can visit and share some of his fragrances, and sometimes borrow fragrances. I've gifted a lot, and my dad has to my mom. I actually have, I don't know, like 100 or 200 female fragrances I could review from my mom's collection, from samples and decants and odds and ends. But you know, I try to do my own fragrance journey at my own pace. So who cares what the heck you talk about and whose video you comment on? You live your best life, Ben. Yeah, with the trolls. Yeah, but I definitely feel you. I used to be a little bit of a worry wart, and I'm trying to get myself out of that shell. I've been raised and I've been told, and it's been demanded of me that I'm sensitive to people's opinions. And I've been around a lot of people in my life, and I was raised around people who are very domineering. If you say the smallest thing, I've had people get been extremely furious with me for even asking questions because, and I have no idea what they're talking about or what the situation is, and I'm just asking questions, and they've been furious with me because I don't know what they're talking about. So, amen, Booty Boo. I definitely feel you. Thank you for the love and that support, though. You have a Facebook group. Is that what you said? I do. It's a Centaur Fragrance family. It's about 300 people. I just post my videos in there just about every day. I would like for people to share their sense of the day in that group and become friends with each other and support each other. It's a good little group. It's a no drama group, but not too many people are active there. I would like to see more people involved, but it is what it is, and it's a good place for y'all to be if you want to be there. I'm very active on my Instagram as well. My Instagram is doing very, very well. If you want to check me out there, Centaur Fragrance. It's actually going really, really well for me. So if y'all want to see more of me every day, I post content there, 2 or 3 posts a day usually, and I put out a lot of work. A lot of y'all probably think I do a lot of work here on YouTube. I put out a video just about every day. I hope that y'all are liking and watching my videos. I put out a lot of content. And I think I've done over 600 posts on Instagram as well. So I'm definitely doing a lot of work. So it's hard these days because people will type and say ridiculous, hurtful things that they would never say in person. Obviously, they don't have a life. Well, yeah, there's some of that. Some people are trolls and definitely try to be hurtful, and there's some people who, I don't know, feel like YouTube is an opportunity to be like the underdog or something and try to take down people, even if there's not really any, I guess, legit reason to be so. Moody says, "Love you, Ben." Well, thank you. Y'all are awesome. Love you too. Dean says, "Favorite dry, mossy, earthy scent." I don't know if a lot of fragrances are particularly both mossy and earthy, but one that does come to mind, and it is a little bit animalic. It would definitely, and for the price, it's also really good. It's Yatagan or Yatagan, and I've mentioned that fragrance a time or two. And I'm sorry, there must be somebody over there spying on me right now because my dog's going so crazy. Whenever I'm going live and I'm out here, there's kids and other crazy people out here, and they'll come and like listen to me or spy on me and all this crazy stuff around here. And the dog, that's why it's angry over there. I'm the kind of old-fashioned person. I want to go over there and figure out what's going on and maybe be locked and loaded because I'm just that way. That's how I am. Continue to do what you do. I support you on Instagram mostly. Thank you for the love, my friend. I hope that you're well. Oh, wait, your Facebook group is public. I don't post on public groups. Too many trolls and don't need to be able to see the discussions I have sense of the day. Should I change it to private? I've left it public because I don't know. I just thought everybody would get more involved if it was public. There's not trolls in that group. You have to be entered. You have to join the group to be able to comment. It's public, like people can see the content, but they can't actively comment or join the group unless they request to join. And if anybody is dramatic, I'll kick them out. I've only kicked out one person, and I don't even want to name who they are, but they're just this infamous person who likes to do these posts where it's like a real fragrance on one side, and on the other side it's like a canned fragrance, like a deodorant that goes by a different name. That's like a clone or something. And I don't even think that they own the brand. I went to their page and I tried to figure it out. I don't even think that they own the brand or the company, or that if they're affiliated with anybody, they don't like use links to point you to a company or anything like that. But they like would post like 7 posts a day where it'd be like, these designer or popular fragrances with like aluminum can that looked like some kind of deodorant, and it would be like a clone or like something funny like that. And it made no sense, and they didn't use titles or do anything. And I'm sorry, there's definitely somebody spying or something over there, and I I wish I could interrupt the video, guys. It's just ridiculous. Um, Thoughts on Atelier Pacific Lime? I want to try it. I haven't tried Pacific Lime. It's a really good scent, as far as I hear. Atelier fragrances are notorious for smelling very good quality, but not lasting the longest. So definitely check them out. Sorry, little dog over there is not happy about neighbors and people spying or walking and all that. Say, I actually like Tile Pacific Lime. I've heard really good things about it. Same here, Jerry. I created an Instagram account about a month ago and follow you on there and put out a lot of content. Yeah, Instagram's a pretty fun place, and Instagram seems to be a lot less dramatic. Things move so fast, and they really and Facebook is set up for like chats and drama. That kind of stuff works on Facebook, but on Instagram things move so fast, and there's so many posts, and you can so easily like get rid of comments and those kinds of things, and just like unfollow and follow and all that stuff. It just trolling and all that stuff doesn't work so well on Instagram. So that's one reason I like Instagram. If you have haters and trolls, it means you're getting relevant. Yeah, I guess I'm getting more relevant. I was told that there's like there's a Facebook group where people I don't know if they're anonymous or not, but they talk and share their opinions on other fragrance reviewers. And supposedly I was discussed a lot, and I have a lot of people who really dislike me and all kinds of stuff. So I guess I'm making it. I guess I'm getting somewhere, huh? People are talking about me. I like Atelier's Pacific Lime too. The dry down for me is similar to Dolce Gabbana Light Blue for women. That sounds really nice. I don't know if I would buy that, but it might be great for a charming fragrance for a lady out there. Wink, wink, Moody Boo. Dean says thoughts on YSL Koros. Well, I respect the fragrance. I know a lot of people really like it, but I personally wouldn't wear it or wouldn't buy it. It's pretty well done. It's pretty well made. It's just not a smell that I'm particularly crazy about. But respect to people who do wear Koros. Respect and more power to them. I hear that Koros Silver is a little bit easier to wear and maybe slightly more modern. So if you like Koros, or maybe if you're willing to dive into Koros, the silver might be the way to go. For me personally, I would recommend that you go for, uh, you know, for things like, was it called? I get it's Anateus and fragrances like that. There's the good old. For some reason, that barking in my head right now, I can't even. It's something noir. I can't even think of it right now. I can picture the bottle. It's Dracar Noir. That's the one I was trying to think of. Get the Dracar Noir or Dulce de Vervins, or you might if you're looking for something more green like that, you might like scents like that. So hopefully that helps you out. Any books on fragrance that you recommend? I there's I would just go for the ones that are recommended. They're the most popular. I don't have any special books. I haven't found any. There's some perfumery books that are really good, and Rojas made a really in-depth book about the history of fragrances. It's pretty well done. It has a lot of pictures, but I haven't bought a lot of fragrance books. The ones that I've dabbled with are mostly ones that get you introduced and give you some helpful tips on actually making fragrances. I haven't bought a lot of actual books that like history wise and the history of fragrances or anything like that. To me, if you're that deep into fragrances, I don't know. It might be fun to actually learn about how fragrances are made and all that kind of stuff if you're ready and if that's something you really care about. So I don't have it with me right now, but if you're really interested, message me on Instagram, and I have one in my room. I can't even remember what it's called right now, but I would let you know. And I also am distracted because little Cookie always is licking me as well. So I have one of the dogs licking me, one of the dogs barking, people over there, and I'm trying. I have 1,001 fragrance things running through my head. So let's see here. Thoughts on why I answered that? I wish there was a perfume magazine. There are some that are fairly focused. But I don't know of any that are completely focused on fragrance. There's some magazines, but they're foreign. I forget where they're from. I can't even remember what they're called right now. But there's some magazines or two that focus a lot on fashion, and they have more. They talk more about fragrance than you would expect, but they're not completely fragrance related. Um, I don't know. Maybe we should start up a perfume magazine. Do you think that people would be interested in that? People would buy or read that? For me, magazines really aren't popular. People really don't read magazines anymore unless you go to like a salon or something. People, at least as far as I know, magazines aren't too popular anymore. Casey, oh, thank you for the donation, my friend. I wasn't expecting that, and thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Thank you for the love, my friend. I really appreciate it. I haven't read Nez. Yeah, I haven't read it either. Cookie is the best. Cookie's a funny little dog. She's really friendly, and she's rambunctious and has lots of energy. But she's always a pretty loving dog. So, anyways, she's a good one. But she is a little bit licky. She'll lick me for a long time. She's always licking. Let's see here. That is a great idea, actually. Essentially, Frontica is a magazine. Yeah, Fragrantica, I'm sure you know about that, Moody Boo. They post lots of posts, and um, since y'all are here and y'all are loyal viewers, Truffles, Truffles, come here, Truffles. I'm trying to get Truffles to stop. I wanted to stop for a second so I could tell y'all. It's called Saffler Ball. Y'all probably know about it, but they do lots of giveaways. This is the South. Those are gunshots. I live in the South. I I'm sorry. I can't change the situation I'm in. That's what. But for Fragrantica, yes, they do post all the times from actual articles and actual writers at Fragrantica, and there's tons of people reviewing fragrances themselves and talking about fragrances and new releases and all kinds of cool stuff on Fragrantica. So if you want more fragrance content, that's actually where I started. That's how I got into fragrances. I Googled fragrances and I came across Fragrantica, and that's where I started learning about fragrances and talking to people about fragrances. Was Fragrantica. It's a really good place to be. But again, everything has pros and cons. You don't have to authenticate yourself if you bought a fragrance to review it. So there's a lot of people who talk about fragrances who have never actually smelled them or never actually bought them, and there's a lot of funny business from companies or whatnot, which will upvote or downvote certain new fragrance releases before they're actually released to the public. That you'll see something that has almost 100 downvotes, and some of them have almost 100 upvotes. So it's real funny business. It really is. Let's see here. I would read a fragrance magazine, prefer a copy, prefer a hard copy to electronic. I'm old school. No, I feel you, but I definitely feel you. I like to have physical books in my hand, but a lot of things are going towards electronic. That's the world we live in. You know, everybody has their e-readers, everybody has their phones, and all that stuff. Truffles, come here. Truffles, come here. Truffles, come here. Come here. He just comes halfway and he stares at me. Come here, Truffles. Why are you barking? Are there people out there? Come here. This is our little troublemaker. I'm sure y'all have seen him before. Little booger. Being so fussy out there. No troubles. Do y'all have any troublemakers in your life, little boogers? See, I do scented shaving creams. Taylor and Old School Scents. Use the Badger and brush, and they open up nicely. Um, see here. Do scents. I'll check out shaving creams. I've been getting into some like lotions and some like aftershaves. I've been trying to, but I don't have a lot of those really nice scented ones. His name's like it's like Monkey Fragrance Reviews. I always get it mixed up. It's like Tropical Monkey Fragrance Reviews or something. And he just did a video about shaving and a bunch of Sphinx aftershave or something like that, which is supposedly I think connected to Alexandria somehow. Alexandria fragrances, and it all looks really nice. It looks really really nice. I'll have to check it out. But that I've been tempted. I need to buy some of that Bay Rum aftershave. I'd be really into that. Jerry says cute. Yeah, Truffles he's a nice little dog, but he gets too feisty and riled up. There's people over there who walk by and get close to us, and in the distance there's like a pool over there, and he hears people. He gets feisty about that. And right now, I don't know if people are doing target practice or people have started doing crazy stuff around here, but people are doing some shots over there. But cute. I love physical magazines too, but it doesn't take long for physical media, games, movies, books, magazines to fill up the living space. Yeah, it's true. And for me, I don't like collecting those things. I know some people do, but I usually don't collect physical magazines or anything like that. Cute. I have a big husky mix named Bowie and Australian Shepherd named Dewey. Oh, that's a really nice names. Bowie's a really nice name, like Bowie knives and those kinds of things. Or is he named after that? What was it, David Bowie? Casey says, do some top tens and get your numbers up. Why not? Top 10 lists are fun. Top 10 leather fragrances. Top 10 summer. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it all the time. That's not really what I was talking about, but it is related and connected to that. But it's not exactly what I was talking about. But yeah, I definitely feel you. That's what the YouTube seems to push and what most people seem to watch these days. Really funny. It's really funny. The YouTube world and the world we live in. People would rather watch a top 10 of popular fragrances instead of exploring like a new fragrance like I found. If I find like a whole new brand, it's not that sometimes people don't want to watch those things. It's YouTube and how things are pushed. It's if people are searching for Dior Sauvage and Dior put $1 million into advertising, you're going to get people who are interested in searching and interested and they've heard about that fragrance. If people aren't searching for the things I'm talking about and they have no idea what they are, it makes it a little bit harder. So that's why YouTube back in the day before all this algorithm nonsense used to be a lot of magic because you could grow things more naturally and it really was all about the content. It wasn't about the search, the priority of the searches and the authority and all the stuff that they're doing now. YouTube used to be that way where the content was king and that's what really mattered. But it's more about how strategic you are and trying to play things by their rules. So yeah, really cool dog. So he has two different colored eyes. So his full name is Bowie Stardust, and the pup fell to earth. And a huge David Bowie fan. I had a feeling that you might be into David Bowie, and that was a perfect name for that. Yeah, that's awesome, Bowie. Yeah, that dogs are super awesome. I'm really into dogs. I'm thinking about maybe getting a Ridgeback one day, or maybe a Husky. I'm not sure, but I don't know if I'd be willing to dedicate as much enough time into it. But I've always really liked foxes and otters and those things, and foxes seem like they can be fairly domesticated, or domesticated pretty well if you raise them and you treat them right. And I really like foxes. I think they're pretty darn cool. So maybe I'll get a fox one day. Anyways, have y'all had enough of me, or do y'all have any more questions or thoughts? I feel like we've wrapped it up. We've gotten kind of tired, and we've had a good chat. But let me know. Do y'all want to keep going? Any more topics? Any more thoughts? Discussions? Huskies are beautiful dogs. I have two cats in the apartment and no room for a dog. Yeah, I feel you, Vicky. Yeah, having a dog, especially a husky, and husky's a winter dog, so they have big, thick fur and they shed a lot and they have high energy and they're very big personality dogs. If you're not willing to train them, or and put your foot down, if they act up, huskies can run over you. I've seen dogs run over people because they have big personalities and they're not willing to assert authority. You're nice. You can be nice about it, but there's a right way to train dogs. But some dogs are really high strung, and huskies often are that way. I really like huskies, but they're definitely demanding, very demanding dogs. So, but huskies are nice. I just would worry about having a husky because I tend to live more in the south, and those are winter dogs. Those are like Alaskan dogs, and it's not. I don't know how comfortable they are in the south. I mean, look at me over here. I'm sweating up a storm, and it's not even the mid of the day. It's cooling down right now. It's not even the hottest, and Also, I think dogs need, back in the day, dogs were territorial and they would have at least a couple acres that they would live off of. These days, if you have like a backyard that's like 50 yards or like 100 yards, most people have no can't even imagine 100 yards of a backyard, or like half an acre or something as a luxury. For a dog, that's not very much land at all. So it's I would like to have some land if I had a dog as well. So Moody Boo says, "Preach, Ben." Thank you. I'm happy to I'm happy that you agree. But dogs are awesome overall for sure. Have a good evening, everyone. I have to go meet the family. Stay safe. I hope that you're smelling great and meeting the family. Surprise them with a really good scent and have fun out there, Vicky. It was really good to see you. I wish you the very best. Be safe out there. And I guess that's my cue to go too. True, we have cold winters here, and it's still hot for Huskies. I adopted him from the pound. No, that's fantastic that you saved him too. Actually, my first Dachshund was a red Dachshund. I don't know if you've ever seen one. I guess it would look more brown to most people, but it had like a red sheen, and those are quite kind of rare. And he's a purebred Dachshund, and he actually had a big chest to him. Most Dachshunds are a little bit more of the French style. They're like longer, and he stood proud, and he was a really good dog. But you know, I definitely do sympathize. Instead of trying to support breeders, there's a lot of dogs out there, and you could give them a decent life. And I know it's not for everybody. It's not. Sometimes it's not easy, but I definitely believe in us trying to save a dog. I was using my personal account to comment today. Oh, no problem, Juicy Fuego. You're really awesome, and happy to see you. I wish you the very best, everybody. I'm probably going to wrap up this live. Be safe, everybody. Eat some great food for me. And if y'all can hear that noise, this is the night. They do this in the morning and at night. This is the nightly choir and the song of the cicadas. So if you can hear this in the background, those are cicadas. And they're different from locust again. People in the north of the USA say they have cicadas. They're not. Those are locusts. They're two different bugs. So, anyways, take care. I wish all the very best. My DA used to have a Keys-hold, barks at strangers, but easy and friendly. Yeah, this one's that way. He's a little bit small. He's a mini Dachshund, and I think he's the smallest Dachshund we've ever seen. Y'all got to see him, and he's actually completely full grown. He's not going to get any bigger at all. He's completely full grown. So, Duncan Spake says, hello, Benjamin. If you just showed up, I'm sorry. I'm about to end this live. We're about to end it, and we've had a good evening. We've had a good chat. I hope that y'all take it easy tomorrow. Have a good Sunday. Eat some good food. If you want to get a little southern for me, y'all are still here. Don't go away yet. Make yourself a BLT for me. I know this is a fragrance channel, but do this. It's a bacon lettuce tomato. Google or watch a YouTube video on how to make it. Just slice some thin tomato, get some crisp, fresh lettuce, and fry up some bacon, and slap a little bit of mayonnaise on your burger bun, and you got a BLT sandwich, and they're really, really nice. I hope that you have some good food and maybe tried something new out. They're really easy to make, and have some fun out there. Favorite vintage scent? That's a really, really hard question. I don't know. It'd be a hard decision for me between probably Eau Sauvage or Platinum Egoist, but I really respect Anateus. I really like that one. When I get older, and it's probably going to grow on me, I'm probably going to really, really love that Anateus. But it's probably between Eau Sauvage and Platinum Egoist. I'm not sure. It might be Platinum Egoist, but there's some really good scents out there. I like Davidoff Zeno. I think Davidoff Zeno is highly underrated and a great scent and a great value for the money. Highly recommend Davidoff Zeno. If you like those dark, balsamic, almost inky type of scents, Davidoff Zeno is still a good fragrance. And it does have a patchouli vibe to it. So if you're a dark patchouli vibe kind of guy, definitely check out Davidoff Zeno. And you like those 80 vibes, I don't think it'll disappoint you. Anyways, everybody, I'll let y'all go. Have a good one. Be safe. Be well. Be smelling great. I know that y'all are. Wear what y'all love and rock what you got. I don't know if y'all have sensitive hearing, but I do. And I can hear tons of bugs, birds, noises, gunshots over there. Crazy stuff. I'll see you next time, everybody. Have a good one. Peace out, and I hope that you enjoyed the Centaur fragrance experience. Have a good one, everybody. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, everybody. Have a good one.